What I'm working on is the Pyle wireless headset, and what I did was I was using several adapters. It's got a 1/4-inch jack that sticks out the side of it, and I had to use an adapter into another adapter into the GoPro, and I just wasn't having very much success. At least a little bit of movement, and I had lots of static. There was a slight hum in there that I couldn't ever get rid of. So what I ended up doing is modified the thing, pulled the jack completely out, made a strain relief for it, and put a 3-foot cable on there, because in addition to all those adapters, the receiver was actually hanging from the GoPro. So it just wasn't working for me. Now I've got a 3.5-foot cable, so I can actually separate the camera and the receiver. So if you want to see how I did that, that's what this video is all about. So stay tuned. What we're going to do today is work on this wireless transmitter for my microphone for my GoPro. The problem we have, I'm using the GoPro mic right now because I have to use it to show you this. Have this plugged into this, plugged into this, and then that plugs into the GoPro. So all this is just hanging off the side of the GoPro, and I'm having connection issues, and probably when this wiggles around. So I'm going to put a headset on here, and I'll kind of walk you through what I'm going to try to do today. I have some audio now. I put on a headset, and I'm hoping that this is actually functioning. I've got a wired headset, quite a conglomeration of junk going on here. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to open this thing up, and I'm going to patch this cable. I'm going to cut the cable, put it inside here, and I'm going to eliminate this completely so that I'll have several feet of wire so that this can be attached remotely from the camera, at least in theory. And looks like the first thing I'm going to have to do is duplicate this little piece right here to go in the case so that I have some strain relief. So let me go find a chunk of plastic and make that little piece. I think this will be easier to do just carrying this one piece rather than taking the whole assembly out. Okay. Alright, so I've got to make this piece right here so that it'll function as a strain relief for my new cable. This cable was 4 feet long, and I don't really have another use for it that I'm aware of, but rather than cut that off so short that it wouldn't be usable for anything, I'll chop about a foot of it off roughly and throw that in my junk box for maybe a future project. Okay, I happen to have a chunk of acetyl hanging around. It's also called Delrin by the trademark, but this is just generic acetyl. So I'll cut this little piece out. This will go where the jack was, take up that space, and then I cut a little bit of a bevel right there so that it gives the cord a little bit of room to wiggle without having such an abrupt edge. So just poke this through here, and I already tinned the wires. This one was just a bunch of loose wires. I twisted them together and tinned it, and the red and white one are going to be the audio wires. So throw these on here, and we should be back in business. Just for giggles, this is what this is taking the place of with this, and I made this piece longer than the original piece just to give it some strain relief. Anyway, here we go. Solder this stuff back on, and I think what I'm going to do, the mic was a wee bit hot, So I'm going to put a 3000 or 3.3K resistor in series with it. And I don't know, the reason I'm going to do a 3.3K is just basically going to be trial and error, and I'll see which one works, and I think I'm going to wrap that around first. My cable's too longer than I need it to be. Well, I've got the wireless mic plugged in now with a cable, and I should be able to move it around maybe without getting any static. You could probably do the same thing, just putting the wire in there and filling that up with hot glue. I just wanted a strain relief, and I think that looks better than hot glue. So if you guys are hearing me, then it's working. That's the transmitter. I don't know how well they work that close together, but anyway, transmitter's back in my pocket now, and if I have audio, then this was a success. Well, if I have audio and it sounds good, it was a success. We'll see.